a young lady. She was in her early 60s. And we prayed for her. When I prayed for her, she looked at me and she said, "You really think that Jesus will let me in?" And she wasn't like, you know what I mean? She could talk. You know what I mean? It wasn't like she was just out there. She really was sincere. And I said, "Yes, of course. He loves you. He was waiting on you." She said, "But I've been a prostitute 40 years. Do you think he could still let me in?" I just broke down weeping. I said, "God, this is our world. This is where we're at." I'm so glad I could say to her that Jesus met a lady at a well one day. Another lady who had 7 demons in her, Mary Magdalene, and he cast the devils out of her and saved her. He loves you so much. And I thought, when I get back home, I want the theme of this church to be that everybody is welcome. Everybody is welcome. You know, sometimes I don't know, it seems like sometimes we reach a place where maybe we think that, but we don't really, our spirit doesn't just demonstrate that. You know what I mean? So, now, I'm going to teach you a little bit today about being a soul winner. Now, I know that most everyone here today, I looked around, and most everyone here, I met Patricia, right? We're so glad you're here today, Patricia. And she has come with Gregory. We're glad you're here. And Jacob is here with us for the first time. He's a Marine. And we're glad Jacob is here today. And I think right now, almost everyone else, we know. I have one more thing I want to do, though. Andrew has been coming to help us with sound. And Andrew is facing a physical challenge in his life. Andrew, would you just come up here again? I know. We pray. We're going to keep praying. You hear me? We're going to keep praying. Sometimes you just got to keep knocking on the door. And I don't have all the answers for that. But I know it's found in the Bible that we're going to just keep knocking until the door was open. And every week, how many times a week do you do dialysis? 3 times. He's already had 1 transplant and it didn't work. Yeah. Would you just, with me, want to see Jesus touch Andrew today? Sure, yes. I want anybody else want to come and pray for him. Everything else is kind of on hold. This is important. Lord, in the name of Jesus, we ask you to heal him today. Give him Lord, Jesus' name. Lord, yes, Lord, we come again knocking on the door. We come again, yes, Lord, asking for a healing for our brother, a miracle today, in Jesus' name, in Jesus' name. In the name of Jesus, in the name of Jesus, yes. Amen. Hallelujah. No, Andrew did not ask me to do that. I just met him when I was coming in today, and he showed me there where they do that dialysis, and it did something in my heart. He just touched my the heart of God. I want to be a part of a church where signs and wonders and miracles take place. And we'll keep praying. We'll keep asking God. And I believe we'll see God do it.
Yes.
And that's why we'll keep praying. Now, I'm going to start this way. Jody, would you do me a favor? Would you come and read for me? Just because I don't want to put my glasses on. I can't see it. From Mark chapter 4, I think verses 2 through 10. 2 through 10. Now, hold on a second. You know, everything in our world is just constantly changing. Not just in the world, but even in the church. You know, things are changing. Songs are changing. All right. I'm not here to my preference. I like old songs. I like them like even on the radio, you know. The other day, my wife and I were driving, and we turned on something. Remember, like they used to sing this song. It was our song. It was our song, and it wasn't, "Oh, how I love Jesus." I'm sorry to tell you, but it was, "Oh, it's so nice to be with you. I love all the things." Or just bear with me. Don't panic. And in church, you know, things, I don't know, maybe I don't have an answer for why, but, you know, like old hymns. But not just old hymns. I mean, yeah, I turn them on. When I get in the car, we don't necessarily sing them at church all the time, but so I get in the car, I put the CD in and listen to them all I want. And I do sometimes. But there's some old songs, like even the messages of the songs. Like, I mean, and some of the new ones, I don't know, I can't always remember the name of them. Sometimes I'll catch myself, they'll come back, and I can mix 2 or 3 of them together, and they sound great to me. But, you know, I ask them, I request it, I'll tell you, I request, like, "You're the God of this city." We're going to sing that today in our worship. You're the God of this city. And somehow I feel like the voices of God's people. I know it's like everybody else thinks Washington, D.C. belongs to the devil. You know what I mean? It seems like everything is just so broken. But I want you to know, we believe that Jesus is the God of this city. And you're the God of this people. And you're the God of this nation. And anyway, so I like some of those songs. And then there's another one to sing. We'll probably do it at the altar service. Some of the words come back to me like, "Your name is all they need." You know the one I'm talking about? I don't remember the name of it. Yeah. And your name is all they need. You know what I mean? How many of you ever been in a trial, maybe in a situation where you just called out, "Jesus," and he came to your rescue? You know what I mean? All right, well, there's another theme that I don't hear in new songs. And I'm just going to tell you a few of the old songs that they would be like, "Rescue the perishing, care for the dying. Jesus is merciful, Jesus will save." Or it even gets a little more personal, and it goes like this: "To be used of God, to speak, to sing, to pray. To be used of God, to show someone the way. I long so much to feel the touch of your consuming fire. To be used of God is my desire." And sometimes I sing these like when I'm alone in my car driving and I weep. Because no matter the years have gone by and I find myself in maybe a season of life that I never thought would ever happen, but as called It's not old age, it's mature age. But at this time in my life, and I sing these songs, and I think, God, if I get 5 years, if I get 10 years more, could you somehow make them the most productive years of my life? Could you somehow let me be used of you? I know I've seen him do a lot of things, but there's nothing. I want to say this to you, my brother and my sister, there is nothing more fulfilling in life than being used of God. To say a word, to show someone the way, a testimony, a Bible study. And when you give, sometimes in church, and when I say this, like, I'm going to say some things, but I don't mean it to be critical. But there's a lot of conferences and seminars going on all around the land, and a lot of denominations, not just ours. And there's seminars about healing, and I believe in healing, all right, or gifts and personality traits, and all kinds of self-help things going on. And I just thought, Lord, I wonder if we should take time to remember that the highest calling is to find our place in God's purpose. You know what? Maybe I'm not trying to speak a foreign language to you here. But to find that purpose of God for your life and fulfill it. And I can tell you that purpose will somehow involve reaching lost people. It will. Now, you know, churches, even churches, seems to me have come to a place where there's a lot of entertainment. I love music and worship. And I heard a couple of weeks ago, like on a Sunday, and instead of teaching, we just sang the whole service. But I really feel in my heart like there's a term they used to use a lot. It was called a burden. A burden. What does it mean to have a burden? And so, I'm just going to tell you what I think about it. I think a burden is when you care about our world. When you care if that person, last Sunday? Seems like so long ago. But last Sunday in Las Vegas, 58 people, whoever, left their hotel room, left their home, had no idea they would never see another sunrise. No idea they would never have another opportunity to tell somebody they loved them. It's just horrible what's happening in our world. And I don't care what your politics are. The violence that's going on in our world is horrible. Yeah. It's just really tragic that so many people's lives are so quickly being taken. And I think the culprit behind it all is the devil himself. And yes, I do think that he uses all of the conflicts that are going on in our world to create division and strife and hatred and violence. And so somehow, in the middle of this, God has chosen us. Here we are. This is our hour. I'm on the tail end of it. Some of you are on the beginning of it. But it's our hour. It's our time. It's our day. And so I'm going to probably take even a few weeks whenever I teach, and you're going to hear me talk about this term that's found in Proverbs somewhere. Proverbs, verse 30 of some chapter. I think it's 6:30, but I'll have to look it up. And it says, "He that winneth souls is wise." You know what? Somehow we got to look beyond whatever it is. You may not like the color of my hair. Don't worry, it's changing. You may not like my tie. Don't worry, I'll wear another one next week. All right, you understand? Things are just, you can't just look at the surface of a person. You got to love the soul. And you've got to know that soul is valuable. What is it? What is it? 11:30. Proverbs 11:30. Thank you. Thank you. Proverbs 11. He that winneth souls is wise. So I want you to know that I am correct in using that term because I found it in the Bible. Soul winners. Soul winners. That means in James, there's a passage where he talks about reaching into the flames, into the fire, and pulling a soul out, saving souls. That's why we're here today, having church. I mean, ultimately, we do a lot of stuff, but why we're really here is we really believe repentance, baptism in the name of Jesus, the infilling of the Spirit, speaking with other tongues is new birth. And new birth is what makes us ready for the new kingdom. All right? And we save souls. So, you got it? Read it for me. Mark 4, 2 through 10.
And he taught them many things by parables, and said unto them in his doctrine, Hearken, behold, there went out a sower to sow. And it came to pass, as he sowed, some fell by the wayside, and the fowls of the air came and devoured it up. And some fell on stony ground, where it had not much earth, and immediately it sprang up, because it had no depth of earth. But when the sun was up, it was scorched, and because it had no root, it withered away. And some fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked it, and it yielded no fruit. And other fell on good ground, and did yield fruit that sprang up and increased, and brought forth some 30, and some 60, and some 100. And he said unto them, He that hath ears to hear, let him hear. And when he was alone, they that were about him with the 12 asked of him the parable.
Parable. I'm referring to this, thank you. I'm referring to this as the parable of the soul winner. All right. You know what? Sister Evelyn, you want to come and help me out here? You want to come and translate it for me? Thank you. So, I'm going to talk about first the soul winner's parable.
Primero voy a hablar del ganador de almas, la parábola del ganador de almas.
The sower is what he's called
Está hablando de aquel que gana almas
in this parable.
en esta parábola.
I mean, there's verses
Hay versículos
that say
que nos dicen,
some plant,
algunos plantan,
some water,
a otros dan agua,
but God gives the
pero
increase.
Dios da el aumento.
There is a process.
Hay un proceso,
There is a work of God.
hay una obra de Dios.
And everyone
Y cada uno
that is born of God
que nace de Dios
is given an eternal purpose.
se les da un propósito eterno.
I mean, there are many things we do in church.
Hay muchas cosas que nosotros hacemos en la iglesia.
And probably all of them have a significance.
Y probablemente todo tiene una significancia.
But they may not ultimately be our purpose.
Pero tal vez no siempre es nuestro propósito.
But I can tell you of which I'm speaking today.
Pero le puedo decir de lo que estoy hablando hoy día.
It is our purpose.
Esto es, sí es nuestro propósito.
In John chapter 1,
En Juan capítulo 1,
John is announcing Jesus.
Juan está anunciando a Jesús.
And down toward the end of that chapter,
Y al final de ese capítulo
there's Andrew.
está Andrés.
And he hears
Y él escucha
John the Baptist say,
a Juan el Bautista decir,
Behold,
mira,
the Lamb of God which taketh away the sins of the world.
el Cordero de Dios que quita el pecado del mundo.
And it says, Andrew went and got his brother Simon
Y dice que Andrés fue y agarró a su hermano Simón
and brought him to meet Jesus.
y lo trajo para que conociera a Jesús.
And actually the passages where you will find Andrew,
Y los pasajes donde encontramos a Andrés,
that's just what he's doing.
eso es lo que él está haciendo,
Bringing people to Jesus.
trayendo personas a Jesús.
It's in his nature.
Está en su naturaleza.
It's in his spirit.
Está en su espíritu.
And so,
Y es así.
I'm going to just talk a little bit about this parable.
Quiero hablar un poquito de esta parábola.
He tells us in
Él
the
nos dice
parable
en esta parábola
that there are 4
que hay cuatro
types of soil.
diferentes clases
The ground.
de piso.
Let me back up. Let's establish some things from this parable.
Vamos a establecer algunas cosas de esta parábola.
The sower is the soul winner.
El que está segando, el segador es el ganador de almas.
I got the microphone, so I'm the one telling you that.
Yo tengo el micrófono, entonces yo soy el que te
For
está
my
diciendo
reference, for my definition.
de mi referencia, mi
The
definición.
sower, we're just sowing the seed. Whether it's the child playing the piano and you teach him how to pray to Jesus,
Sea el niño que está tocando el piano y usted le está enseñando a orar a Jesús,
or the Sunday school class,
o la clase de escuela dominical.
and the teachers are down there today,
Y los maestros están allá ahora,
they're sowing some seed.
ellos están segando semillas.
It was in 1978
Fue en 1978
that my wife and I
que mi esposa y yo
and our 2
y
children
nuestros 2 hijos,
at that time,
en ese tiempo,
Jason and Jolene,
Jason y Jolene,
we moved to Sedona, Arizona
nos mudamos a Sedona, Arizona,
to start a church.
para comenzar una iglesia.
There were a lot of hippies that lived up there.
Había bastantes hippies que vivían ahí.
They smoked a lot of peyote or Mary Jane.
Fumaban muchas diferentes clases de drogas.
But because my life had come out of that,
Pero como mi vida yo había salido de esto,
I felt excited that I could go there and win some lost souls to Jesus.
yo había una alegría en mí de saber que podía ir a esa ciudad y ganar almas para Jesús.
And so we went there.
Entonces fuimos ahí
And we had a little storefront building.
y teníamos un edificio
Right next to it was the main bar in town.
y al lado del edificio estaba la cantina del pueblo.
And up behind us
Y detrás de nosotros
was a trailer park.
había un parque de trailers.
Now, I don't know how to tell you, if you've never been to a trailer park,
Y no sé cómo
you
explicarle.
need to take a journey out west
Es un
somewhere
campo donde hay casas movibles. Y si
and,
usted nunca ha ido a uno de
and
estos
drive
campos,
through a trailer park.
trate de ir a una hora
You'll get an education.
y va a ser educado.
When I say that, I'm not trying to make fun of
Y
anybody.
cuando digo esto no estoy tratando de burlarme de nadie.
It's a very, in many cases, it's a very economic way of living.
En muchos casos es una manera económica para
In
vivir.
the city, it might be called the projects.
En las ciudades es algo nos referíamos como los proyectos.
But we didn't, we had church.
Nosotros teníamos iglesia
Yes, in that little storefront building.
allí en ese edificio
And we were so young.
y éramos tan jóvenes
And people would come.
y personas venían,
I mean, hippies would come.
hippies venían
And people with all kind of crazy ideas.
y personas con todas clases de ideas
And I was
locas.
so excited.
Y yo tenía tanta
We
alegría.
had incredible experiences.
Tuvimos unas grandes experiencias.
One Sunday night,
Un domingo en la noche
we were singing
estábamos
the
cantando
old rugged cross.
aquella cruz, de aquella cruz.
And the people at the bar next door could hear us
Y
singing.
las personas que estaban en la cantina al lado nos podían
And
oír.
so through the doors of the church
Y a través de las puertas de la iglesia
came Clarence.
vino Clarence.
Clarence was the town drunk.
Clarence era el alcohólico del pueblo.
And Clarence comes in and he starts singing with a loud voice.
Y él entra por las puertas y empieza a cantar con voz
Right
alta.
along with us, the
Con
old
nosotros.
rugged cross.
Oh, aquella cruz.
And he comes down front.
Y viene hacia el frente.
I mean, that wasn't far anyway.
Y no era una gran distancia.
But he comes down front and he falls on his
Y
knees.
viene al frente y cae de rodillas.
And he reaches up and grabs his t-shirt
Y él se levanta y agarra su camiseta
and he rips it open.
y la rompe.
And he yells, Jesus!
Y grita Jesús
In here!
aquí adentro.
I thought,
Y yo pensé,
what do you say?
y yo, ¿qué podía decir?
But in that kind of environment,
Pero en esa clase de
we
ambiente
had a lot of little kids that came to to Sunday school.
Teníamos bastantes niños que venían a la escuela dominical.
We had someone one time, my wife called me and said, honey, you got to come home. I was at work.
Una vez mi esposa me llama y me dice, querido, tienes que venir a casa, y yo estaba trabajando.
Clarence has got the building full of drunks.
Clarence tiene el edificio lleno de borrachos.
So I come home and I go in the building.
Entonces yo llego a la casa y entro en el edificio.
I think Clarence had every drunk in
Y
town.
yo creo que Clarence tenía todo borracho del pueblo.
And he made them all get on their knees and pray.
Y les hizo que cada uno cayera de rodillas y oraran.
Great experiences.
Grandes experiencias.
And in the midst of that, there were wonderful things that happened.
Y en medio de todo eso, y son cosas lindas que sucedieron.
Time passes,
El tiempo pasa,
years go by.
los años pasan.
We've since started other churches.
Desde entonces hemos comenzado otras iglesias.
And I think it was last year,
Y yo creo que fue el año pasado.
we were invited to come and speak at a camp meeting in, it's called the Texaco district. It was actually in, I think, Amarillo, Texas.
Y nos invitaron a hablar en una campaña en el distrito de Amarillo, Texas.
And we got there and walked in, and a young man, young as anything younger than me,
Y entramos, y un joven, cuando digo joven igual
and
que
he
mí,
walks up to me and he said, "Do you remember
y
me?"
me dice, ¿tú te recuerdas de mí?
I said, I don't think so.
Y yo le digo, no creo.
He said, "When I was 7 years
Y
old,
me dice, cuando yo tenía 7 años de edad,
I lived in a trailer park behind your storefront church.
yo vivía en ese campo de casas movibles detrás de tu iglesia.
And I came into your church on
Yo
a Sunday
y
morning
yo entré a tu iglesia un domingo en la mañana.
and went to a Sunday school class and learned about
Y
Jesus."
iba a una clase dominical y aprendía de Jesús.
Now, I'm just telling you,
Ahora yo te digo,
soul winning is not always a planned effort.
a veces el ganar nuevas almas no es un esfuerzo planeado.
Soul winning is always
El
speaking
ganar almas es siempre
or
hablar
showing
o mostrar
the kindness of Jesus.
la amabilidad de Jesús.
I try to use that illustration so you'll know sometimes God uses you when you don't even know you're being used.
Quiero usar esta ilustración para demostrarte que algunas veces Dios te usa cuando ni
I had to be
siquiera
honest, I
sabes que
didn't
está
remember
siendo
the
usado
guy
por Él.
even after he told me who he was.
Yo no te digo, no recuerdo a este muchacho ni después que me dijo quién él
He was
era.
just one of the kids from the trailer park.
Solo era uno de los niños que nos visitaba del parque.
But now he pastors a church,
Pero ahora él pastorea una
winning
iglesia.
souls for Jesus.
Y ahora él para Jesús.
The second thing is the seed. What is the seed?
La siguiente cosa es la semilla.
Now
¿Qué es la
this is
semilla?
the key to it all.
Ahora esta es la clave.
The seed is the word.
La semilla es la palabra.
And the Bible says that life is in the
Y
word.
la Biblia nos dice que vida hay en la palabra.
It's powerful.
Es poderosa.
The word of God
La palabra de Dios
is able to change a life.
es capaz de cambiar una vida.
It will bring life where there has been death.
Puede traer vida donde ha habido muerte.
When folks are dead, the scripture says, in their trespasses and sins,
La escritura nos dice cuando una persona está muerta en sus pecados,
they can supernaturally.
puede
Now
supernaturalmente.
this is important what I'm telling you.
Ahora esto es importante lo que
You
estoy
have to get this in
diciendo.
your heart and
Tú
believe
tienes que
it.
obtener esto en tu corazón y creerlo.
That there is the power of life in the Word.
Que está el poder de la vida en la palabra.
That you may not have all the
Que
answers.
tú tal vez no tengas todas las respuestas.
You may not be able to solve everyone's
Y
problems.
tal vez no puedas resolver los problemas de todos.
But you can speak one word of God
Pero tú
that can
puedes
change.
hablar una palabra de Dios que pueda cambiar.
It can change a life forever.
Que pueda cambiar una vida para siempre.
Because the power is in the Word.
Porque el poder está en la
It can
palabra.
deliver you from your
Te
sin.
puede liberar a ti de tus
It
pecados.
can deliver you from a negative
Puede
attitude,
liberarte de una
a
actitud,
negative outlook.
de una mirada
It can
negativa.
deliver you from addictions,
Te puede liberar de la adicción.
no matter what they
No
are.
importa qué es lo que
There's
sea.
power in the Word.
Hay poder en la palabra.
Everybody said amen.
Nos decimos amén.
And the soil
Y Y el suelo o la tierra
of this parable
de esta parábola
are the hearers,
son los oidores,
those who hear.
aquellos que oyen.
Like right now,
Por ejemplo, ahora
this
mismo,
room,
en este cuarto,
there may be present
puede ver presente
all four types of soil.
todas las 4 clases de suelo.
Hearers.
Son los oidores.
The word
La palabra
can be spoken over,
puede ser hablada,
that it's the same word.
es la misma palabra,
But your response to it will determine the effectiveness of that word.
pero la manera que tú respondes va a determinar lo
You're
efectivo de
embracing
esa
it.
palabra. Si tú lo tomas,
You're believing
si
it
tú lo crees,
can change your future.
puede cambiar entonces tu futuro.
Or at the same time,
Pero a la misma vez,
you can reject it.
lo puedes rechazar
And it will determine your future.
y también va a determinar tu futuro.
So, in this parable,
Y en esta parábola
there are 4 types of soil.
hay 4 diferentes clases de suelo.
Jesus said there's the wayside.
Jesús nos dice que está lo de afuera.
It's like a pathway
Es como un camino
that's walked over constantly
de la cual estás constantemente caminando sobre
until
ella
that ground becomes hard.
hasta que ese piso es duro.
It is speaking of the condition of a heart
Está hablando de la condición de un corazón
that has become hardened.
que se ha endurecido.
It doesn't matter who caused it.
No importa quién lo causó,
It could be the sinfulness of parents,
puede ser lo diario de la vida
the sinfulness of grandparents,
o los pecados de tu abuelo, perdón,
the sinfulness of our
o
world,
los pecados del mundo,
or even your own sin.
o tal vez tu propio pecado.
Your heart can become so hard
Tu corazón puede endurecerse
that the
tanto
word that has power in it,
que esa palabra que tiene
that
poder,
can make you alive,
que puede darte vida,
can be sown upon that hard heart,
puede ser sembrada sobre ese corazón tan endurecido
and there be no results.
y no va a haber resultados.
We would call those hearers
Podremos llamar a esos oidores
as indifferent.
como indiferentes.
Now, I'm going to just tell you, I have watched some come here, even here, to our facility,
Yo he visto,
who
y le voy a decir,
have had many opportunities to experience God.
que han tenido muchas oportunidades para
When you lay
experimentar.
back in a chair and kick your feet up on the chair in front of you,
Cuando tú te sientas en una silla y levantas tu pie,
your body language is speaking that your heart is hardened to God.
está hablando que tu corazón está endurecido a Dios.
It's not just about being disrespectful in
No se
church.
trata de solo no tener respeto en la iglesia.
It's that the very thing that can save your
Es
soul
que la misma cosa que puede salvar tu
is
alma
being rejected
está siendo rechazado
by your actions.
por tus acciones.
On the other hand,
Y al otro lado,
God can speak a word right now,
Dios puede hablar una palabra
and
ahora
all of a
mismo
sudden somebody receives
y
it,
de repente alguien la
and they
recibe.
can raise their hands. That's me. That's
Puedes
right.
levantar tu mano y decir,
Their
"Ese es para
response
mí". Tu respuesta
Determines whether their life is
tu
changed
vida
or not.
puede ser cambiada o no.
You can take it in.
Puedes dejarlo que dentro
God
de
can
ti
make you more than you've ever dreamed you could
y Dios
become.
te puede hacer más de lo que tú hasta soñaste
I
poder
promise you,
ser.
His dreams and His
Yo
plans
le prometo que sus sueños y sus
For our
planes
lives
para nuestras vidas
are bigger
son mucho más grandes
than what we could ever imagine.
de lo que nosotros tal vez nos podamos imaginar.
Now, I'm telling you,
Ahora yo le estoy diciendo,
those things can happen
estas cosas pueden suceder
because somebody has been hardened.
porque alguien ha sido endurecido,
They got a heart problem.
tienen un problema de corazón.
Hello? Everybody say amen.
Entonces,
And even
amén.
if you disagree,
Y
you just say amen.
aunque usted esté en desacuerdo, diga amén.
Because God has to soften your heart.
Porque Dios tiene que
The preacher, I can't soften your heart.
el predicador
I can
solo
love
puede
you.
suavizar tu corazón.
I
Yo
can
puedo
care about
amarte,
you.
yo puedo
I
quererte,
can preach to you,
yo puedo predicarte.
and I do love you.
Y sí le amo.
But I promise you,
Pero yo le
It is about believing what he said.
Se trata de creer lo que Él ha dicho.
Indifference,
En diferencia,
like, no big deal. No,
que no-
how could you say that?
oh, ¿cómo tú puedes decir
You
esto?
know what I mean? Am I like speaking over your head here?
Estoy tal vez hablando sobre
Let me tell you something. It's too late. I was a drug addict, and he came to me, and one word from Jesus changed my life. I don't have time to play games in church. I'm here to tell somebody today, you got to make a decision. Either you respond one way or the other. This word is powerful.
Hallelujah.
The second one is stony.
El siguiente es una tierra de pedregales.
He's talking about a condition of the heart.
Habla también de una condición del corazón.
A stony. Now, let me just, I want to go back and just say some, a disclaimer.
Quiero decirles anteriormente,
What I know is this. It don't mean it's over.
no significa que ha
I
terminado.
went to a meeting last night,
Fui a una reunión anoche
and my heart wasn't right.
y mi corazón no estaba
But
conmigo,
something got a hold of me.
pero algo se sostuvo
Oh,
de
that's an
mí.
old song.
Esa es una alabanza,
I did go to a meeting last night,
pero sí fui a una reunión anoche
and there was something that happened between me and a brother 20 years ago.
y había algo que sucedió entre mí y un hermano hace 20 años atrás.
And I'm telling you, God never gave up.
Pero yo le digo que Dios nunca se dio por
God was
vencido.
working 20 years
Dios ha estado obrando por 20
to
años
heal something between me and that brother.
para sanar algo
Because
entre
God
mí
don't
y
quit
ese
working.
hermano.
God won't quit working.
Porque Dios no termina de trabajar.
All right, so your heart may be hard today.
Tu corazón tal vez está endurecido hoy día.
Let me tell you about Jesus.
Pero déjame contarte acerca de
He
Jesús.
knows your address.
Él conoce tu
He
dirección
knows how many hairs are on your
y Él
head.
conoce
All
cuánto
right?
cabello hay en tu cabeza.
He knows what you respond to.
Él sabe a lo que tú
He
respondes
loves you enough to keep working on
y
you.
Él le ama lo suficiente para seguir
He doesn't
trabajando
give
en
up.
usted. Él no se da por vencido.
The second ground is stony.
Este segundo piso es pedregoso
This is a soil that is emotional.
y esto es algo que es emocional, una tierra que es
You
emocional.
know what I mean? They come today. Woo, that was good. You gone tomorrow.
Como que, oh, que bueno estuvo en la iglesia y luego para otro lado.
How many know what I'm talking about? Oh, I love it. I want to do it.
Oh, como me encantó el
And then they're
momento.
gone. What happened?
Y luego se va y ¿qué sucedió?
It didn't get in the heart. It was emotional.
No entró al corazón, sino fue algo
Sounded
emocional.
like a good idea.
Parecía una buena
But there
idea,
was no commitment to it.
pero no hubo ninguna dedicación.
Because their heart had stones in it.
¿Por qué? Porque su corazón tenía piedras.
God doesn't give up on that.
Ahora, Dios no se da por vencido
He
en
just
esto.
starts working to get the stones out of your life.
Entonces Él empieza a trabajar a quitar esas
So you
piedras
can
fuera
receive
de
the
tu
life-giving
corazón,
word.
para que entonces puedas recibir esa semilla de vida.
The third one
Y el tercero
is the thorny soil.
es la tierra espinosa.
That's another definition for worldly.
Esa es otra definición para
You
para
can't love God and love the world too.
del mundo. No puedes amar a
I
Dios
mean,
y
you
amar
might
al
start off
mundo
and say,
de
well,
la
I'm going to
misma
embrace
manera.
God and I'm
Pues yo voy a alabar a
going to
Dios
fulfill the world.
y voy a vivir también en el
Tell you
mundo. No se puede.
Eventually, you're going to have to make a choice.
Eventualmente vas a tener que decidir.
God is merciful and patient and
Dios
kind.
es misericordioso,
And He doesn't just
paciente
immediately
y
give
amable.
up on you.
Y Él no te da por vencido en ti inmediatamente.
But somewhere you have to make a
Pero en
decision.
algún lado tú vas a tener que
Jesus
hacer la
or the
decisión.
world?
Jesús o el mundo.
That's how right there talking.
Eso se escucha
Somewhere
como
you
Jerry.
got to make a choice.
En algún lugar vas a tener que escoger.
Now, folks, I'm talking about soul winning here.
Ahora yo estoy hablando de ganar
But I
almas.
want you to know you can't win souls
Pero quiero dejarte saber que
To
tú no
Jesus.
puedes ganar almas a Jesús
without it starting with you.
si no comienza contigo
You know,
primeramente.
you can't preach, do as I say.
Tú no puedes predicar, haz como yo digo,
It's got to be fruitful in your life
sino que tiene que
in
tener
order to become
fruto
fruitful
en tu
in
vida
their life.
para que luego pueda tener fruto en la vida de
There
ellos.
is an anointing that comes
Hay unción que viene
when people commit their lives to
cuando la
Jesus.
gente dedica su vida a Jesús.
You can have church without anointing, but you can't have fruitfulness.
Tú puedes tener la iglesia culto sin unción, pero no puede haber
You
fruto.
understand? It takes commitment. I mean,
¿Sabes
it
lo que
takes
quiere decir?
somewhere you
Se
got to make
trata
up
de
your mind.
dedicación.
receptivity. I receive it.
Es de poderlo recibir.
You know, I know that today
Yo sé que hoy día
I am speaking to you,
yo estoy hablándote a ti,
but I promise you the Holy Spirit is speaking to me.
pero yo le prometo
Before it comes to
el
you.
Espíritu Santo está hablando a
And
mí
he's not
antes
just
que
talking
venga
to me
usted.
about you.
Y no solo está
He's
hablando de
talking
mí
to me
acerca de
about
usted,
me.
sino que me está hablando a mí de mí mismo.
He's talking about the condition of my
Él
heart
está
to me.
hablándome acerca de la condición
He's
de mi
talking about
corazón.
you cannot.
Él me está diciendo que yo no puedo.
I mean, you might put on a good show.
Tú puedes
You might
tener,
become a good television preacher.
tal vez puedas ser un buen predicador de la televisión.
You might have some things together, have some good entertainment
Tal vez
happen.
puedas tener un buen entretenimiento.
But when you talk about getting people ready for heaven,
Pero cuando
and you
estás
talk
hablando
about
de
lives
preparar a
being
personas para
changed,
llegar al
and
cielo de vida,
commitment,
ser
dedication,
cambiados y de ser
then there's got to be an anointing,
Tiene que
and
haber
there's got to be
una
commitment,
unción,
first
tiene
of
que haber
all, in the
dedicación.
preacher's life.
Primeramente en la vida de un predicador,
And within the lost,
para poder ganar al perdido,
there's got to be a fresh commitment.
tiene que haber una dedicación fresca.
I told you I was going to talk about a burden.
Les dije que iba a hablar acerca de una carga.
It doesn't seem to me
No parecería a mí
that you can have the burden
que tú puedes tener una carga para los perdidos
without
sin tener,
being broken
sin estar quebrantado
before God.
ante Cristo.
No, that's just my evaluation after 45 years of ministry.
Esta es mi evaluación por 45 años de ministerio,
Is that you're going to be willing to let God bring you to an altar.
que vas a tener que tener la voluntad de permitir que Dios
Now,
te
there's a
traiga a un
brokenness.
altar donde haya un
But let me promise
quebrantamiento.
you,
Y déjame
the more
prometerte
you allow
que
Him to
lo más que
break
tú
you,
permites que Dios te quiebre,
the more you allow Him to mold you,
lo
to
más que
make
tú
you,
permites que Dios te moldee y te haga,
the more the power
más poder
can
habrá.
be released through your life.
Puede ser desatada en tu vida.
And I can't tell you it feels good. It does
Y
not
no te
feel
puedo
good to
decir
be
que se
broken.
siente bueno o bonito ser quebrantado.
If you're going to let your flesh make the choice,
Si tú permites que tu carne lo escoja,
you will probably not choose to be broken.
probablemente no vas a escoger tener un
You'll
quebrantamiento.
probably choose to remain indifferent
Vas a preferir seguir
and
indiferente
proud and hard-hearted.
y ser orgulloso y un corazón duro.
But if we'll let God work,
Pero si permitimos que Dios obre,
He will give us the ability
Él nos dará la habilidad
to have a burden
de tener una carga
for our world.
para nuestro mundo,
Carry a burden.
de poder llevar una carga.
Cause you look at people and weep.
Cuando mires a personas y puedas llorar,
Cause you pray
porque has orado
like Evelyn prays.
como Evelyn ora,
With intercession.
con intercesión.
I didn't say that just to embarrass her.
No lo dije
She's
solo.
an intercessor.
Yo sé que es una intercesora,
But that's a work of God.
pero esa es la obra de Dios.
It's not something you just walk pick up and go intercede.
Eso no es algo que tú dices, voy a ir a
It don't work
interceder.
that way.
Eso no trabaja de esa
It
manera,
takes the work of God
sino que se toma una obra de
to
Dios,
bring us to a place
de traerlos a un lugar,
where through intercession
de que a través de la intersección
we carry a burden
podamos llevar esa carga
and we become that soul winner.
y nos podamos convertir en ese ganador de
There's
almas.
a lot of positions offered in church as well as in the world.
Hay muchas posiciones ofrecidas en la iglesia y en el mundo.
You know, a lot of people want the microphone.
Muchas personas quieren el micrófono,
I'm just going to tell you something, folks.
pero les voy a decir algo.
There's no greater joy.
No hay ningún gozo más mayor.
Now, the microphone, it ain't where you get the joy.
El micrófono no es donde vas a obtener el gozo.
I'm not trying to take away from what God uses.
No quiero quitar de lo que Dios usa, ¿verdad?
But if you can lead someone to
Pero si
Jesus,
tú puedes guiar a
if you
alguien a
can
Jesús,
find someone whose heart is lost away,
si tú puedes encontrar a alguien que su
And
corazón
introduce
se ha
them to
perdido
Jesus.
y le puedes introducir a
and they
Jesús
give their life to
y ellos
Jesus,
pueden dar su vida a Jesús,
you will have no greater joy
no vas a tener ningún gozo más
than to be
mayor
used of God
que ser usado
to
por
see
Dios
somebody saved.
para ver que alguien sea salvo.
Everybody said amen.
No decimos amén,
Even if you're not sure what I just said, say amen.
aunque no estés seguro de lo que acabo de decir, di amén.
I want this to become familiar language at Living Hope.
Yo quiero que esto se convierta en un lenguaje familiar
by
en
God's
Esperanza
grace,
Viva, que a través de la gracia de Dios,
He's going to baptize us
Él nos va a bautizar
with a burden.
con una carga.
Did you find the words of that song? No, you thought I forgot. color. It's a song that I mentioned earlier called Rescue the Perishing.
Es la alabanza que mencioné temprano, rescatar al que está pereciendo.
How many of you believe our world is not doing too good out there? Our world is not doing too good.
¿Cuántos están conmigo que dicen que nuestro mundo no está haciendo muy bien allá
How
afuera?
many would agree with me? Our world needs Jesus.
¿Cuántos están de acuerdo conmigo que nuestro mundo necesita de Jesús?
All right. It's still coming.
Todavía viene.
The chorus says, rescue the perishing, care for the dying.
El alabanza dice rescatando al que está
Jesus is
perdido,
merciful.
queriendo al que se está
Jesus
muriendo.
will save.
Jesús es
You know, that's
misericordioso,
really
Jesús
why we're
salvará.
here. That's why we're here.
Por eso es que estamos aquí.
That's why we're
Por
here.
eso es que estamos
And so
aquí.
somebody can get saved.
Para que alguien pueda ser salvo.
Everything else we do,
Todo lo demás que nosotros hacemos,
it has something to do with it.
sí, tiene algo que ver.
But the reason we're here
Pero el motivo por el cual estamos
is because I
aquí
drove through the city today
es porque yo manejé
And I
durante
saw a
la
lot of
ciudad
people.
y yo miré muchas personas
that don't know Jesus.
que no conocen de Jesús.
And Jesus wants to save them.
Y Jesús quiere salvarlos.
No? It's coming. It's coming. There it is. Rescue them. Snatch them in pity from sin and the grave.
Sacarlos del pecado y del sepulcro.
Weep o'er the erring one. Why? Church, can you hear me?
Clamar por aquel que está perdido.
Somebody fails. Somebody falls.
Alguien ha fallado, alguien ha caído.
They don't need our criticism.
No necesitan
They
que
need
se
us to weep
criticados,
for them.
sino que necesitan que clamemos por ellos.
Lift up the fallen.
Levantar al que se ha caído.
Tell them of Jesus, the
Contarles
mighty
de
to save.
Jesús, aquel que es grande a salvar.
Rescue the perishing, care for the dying. Jesus is merciful. Jesus will save.
Rescatando al perdido,
Though they are slighting him,
aunque ellos vayan, no le estén viendo.
still he is waiting.
Aún Él está esperando.
Waiting the penitent child to receive.
Esperando a ese hijo a recibir.
Listen, plead with them earnestly.
Clamando con ellos.
Plead with them gently.
Clamando con ellos gentiles.
He will forgive
Él va a perdonar
if they only will believe.
si ellos tan solo pudieran creer.
Down in the human heart,
Abajo en el corazón humano,
crushed by the tempter,
que ha sido golpeado por el tentador,
feelings lie buried.
sintiendo que sus mentiras se han entregado,
They become hard because the enemy crushed their heart.
su corazón se ha endurecido porque el enemigo ha destruido su corazón.
They've been lied to.
Han mentido
They've
sobre
been
ellos,
cheated. They've been cheated on.
han sido engañados, ha habido engaño.
And the tempter has crushed their heart.
El tentador ha golpeado sus corazones.
Feelings lie buried that grace can restore.
Estos sentimientos que parece que la gracia no puede
Here's
restaurar,
how. Touched by a loving heart.
pero tocados por un corazón amado,
Wakened by kindness.
despertados por la amabilidad,
Cords that were broken
cuerdas que han sido quebradas,
will vibrate once more.
vibrarán una vez más.
Listen, the Holy Spirit is going to do a work on us
Escucha, el Espíritu Santo hará una obra en nosotros
so that the world will be brought to Jesus.
para que el mundo sea acercado a
It
Jesús.
starts with us,
Comienza con nosotros
and it starts at an altar
y comienza en un altar
or in our worship,
o en nuestra adoración,
somewhere in a connection with
en algún
Jesus.
lugar, en una conexión con
He's
Jesús.
preparing us
Él nos está preparando
for a great harvest.
para una gran cosecha.
They're going to come.
Van a venir.
The world is looking for something,
El mundo está
An
buscando
answer.
algo, buscando una respuesta.
and they're finding out that religion out there
Y se están dando cuenta que la
who
religión
tells
allá
them they
afuera,
can live on in their
que
sin,
les dice que pueden vivir continuamente
It's not
en su
their
pecado,
answer.
no es la
because
respuesta.
sin is what brought them to the place they're at.
Porque el pecado es lo que los ha traído al lugar
But
donde
they're
están.
looking for a voice, a church,
Pero están buscando una voz, buscando una
a
iglesia.
place where they can truly find forgiveness and deliverance from their sin.
Pueden encontrar liberación y perdón por sus pecados.
And by God's grace,
Y a través de la gracia de
that's going to
Dios,
be people can truly be healed